Trees are the lungs of the earth, and they've been disappearing and overlooked. Human activity is causing greenhouse gas emissions. Carbon dioxide has increased as our population has grown, largely from burning fossil fuels. Our growing population also puts pressure on the land to feed and sustain us. Humans are having a profound and undeniable impact on the planet, using up the Earth's natural resources, and now we are concerned about the consequences. The forest and trees are one such resource, seeing devastating rates of deforestation globally. Our species have been reducing the lungs of the Earth, and this does not come without costs.
Scientists have issued their starkest warning yet about the danger of climate change. In a dramatic report, the UN's Intergovernmental Panel says the world is nowhere near its target of keeping the rise in average global temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
An area of Amazon rainforest roughly the size of a football pitch is now being cleared every minute.
The crisis killed and displaced 3 billion animals. That's 3 times worse than previously thought.
CO2 is emitted into our atmosphere, and the trees naturally absorb some of the CO2 emissions, making them reservoirs that store carbon, keeping the CO2 from the atmosphere. You can see this here, as the red is the CO2, and when it comes into spring and summer, the trees grow and absorb CO2, decreasing the carbon concentration, therefore goes a blue colour. Forests soak up a large amount of carbon and store it in them, the surrounding soil and other vegetation. Therefore, logic dictates that the more trees will lead to more carbon being removed from our atmosphere. Currently, the Earth's forests and soils absorb 30% of our atmospheric carbon. It is no wonder trees have fallen into political agendas as one way to reduce CO2. Naturally, our world leaders, scientists and the public are looking for an answer to help solve human-induced climate change. Consequently, it is no surprise that over the past few years, the idea of planting trees as a low-cost, high-impact solution to climate change has really taken centre stage. In the UK, the promises of tree planting by political parties remains an unforgettable buzzword in the last general election. The Conservative government pledged to plant 30,000 hectares of new woodland by the end of their next parliament. That's assuming 2 full 5-year terms, so 2029. Whether we achieve these targets or not, will this actually make a difference? Every little helps, right? But maybe it's not. Could it be too little too late? Targets like the UK's don't really do the planet justice to the scale of what needs to be done. Considering deforestation has dramatically increased over the last 50 years, roughly 7.3 million hectares of forest are lost every year, according to the FAO, and approximately half of the Earth's tropical forests have already been cleared. In 2020, Brazil's deforestation rate has increased and has destroyed an area equivalent to a third of the size of Belgium in just 1 year. This is contrary to efforts pledged by other countries. In short, pledges by governments mean nothing but good news stories, greenwashing, and an easy way to appease the green lobby, whilst unsustainable deforestation continues on a larger scale. If we did achieve targets of tree planting, would this guarantee obvious success? Scientists warn that increased tree coverage could increase global warming. But how? As trees grow, they make a canopy over the land, making the surface darker, decreasing reflectivity of the pre-existing ground, if planted in the colder snow-covered northern hemisphere. This, coupled with the increasing global temperatures, begs the question, would the planet experience enough CO2 absorption from reforestation to outweigh the increased heat uptake by the trees themselves? The global effort to work against deforestation in the first place, rather than planting new ones, is needed. Regeneration, management and protection of the existing forests is key. Planting trees is not the solution. It will never be the solution. It's just a way to avoid having to make big changes to unsustainable human existence. There is no single solution or saviour when it comes to climate change. Humans must reduce our impact on the earth by reducing our consumption and not rely on nature
to the rescue
to bail us out. If the trees are the lungs of the earth, then we should, allow them to breathe.